more to the mystery of the dying birds.
There must be about 100 birds in this area.
There are dead birds all over this Somerset County neighborhood in Franklin Township, New Jersey, on front lawns, on top of roofs, and in the street. Neighbors are still picking them up. Andrea Kepik says it was like a scene out of a horror movie when she walked out of her home Friday night.
I remember the movie The Birds. There was a dead bird on my stoop. But then I just looked a little beyond and saw other dead birds on my steps.
And then she says she looked around and there were dead birds as far as her eyes could see.
I walked over to my car, stepping over them.
The U.S. Department of Agriculture confirms it is responsible for the controlled kill to reduce the European starling population. Township manager Ken Daly says the USDA placed seeds tainted with poison at a local farm.
Birds eat the seed and they metabolize the poison and die within about 24 hours. We've been told by USDA that the carcasses are not a danger.
The problem is, Daly says, the USDA kept the town in the dark so authorities couldn't warn neighbors who saw birds falling from the sky.
Mystery surrounding dead birds. Health officials are trying to figure out why people are discovering feathered carcasses all over parts of Brooklyn and Queens. CBS 2's Hazel Sanchez live in Williamsburg with that story tonight. Hazel?
Jim, this is really a strange story. The City Department of Health discovered dead birds here in this field behind me in Brooklyn and also in a field in Queens. They're conducting tests on the carcasses to determine if those birds died from a poison, a virus, or possibly by accident. DEP hazmat crews were collecting soil samples on Bedford and South 4th Street in Williamsburg tonight. The samples could hold the answer to why about 20 birds were found scattered in this field and on the sidewalk across the street. Randy Garcia saw the lifeless birds as he walked to and from school today.
It was still moving, and we saw we were staring at it, and then it died.
Mario Colon says that for several days he's noticed dead birds on his block on South 4th. He says he called 311 over the weekend, but firefighters and sanitation crews did not respond until today.
The new year is off to a bizarre beginning in Arkansas. 100,000 drumfish washed up along the Arkansas River. Scientists say disease is likely to blame. On their own, dead fish might not raise too many eyebrows. But a little more than 100 miles away in Beebe, there's another animal mystery. Just before the stroke of midnight on New Year's Eve, thousands of birds started falling from the sky.
I thought it was out of an Albert Hitchcock movie.
Thought the mayor was messing with me when he called me. He got me up at 4 o'clock in the morning and told me he had birds falling out of the sky.
Residents rang in 2011 to scenes like this. On roads, on roofs, on lawns, up to 5,000 blackbirds fell within a 1-mile area. Most were dead.
Everybody's kind of amazed at this happening.
The Arkansas Game and Fish Commission says this phenomenon is not as unusual as it might seem. The likely culprit is a lightning strike or high-altitude hail, possibly even fireworks. Investigators say there is no connection between the dead fish and the dead birds. No matter what the explanation for these odd events, some in Arkansas say 2011 is off to an ominous start.
Last year we started it with floods, and this year birds.
I ain't gonna take no chances.